Welcome to the Explainer. So, picture this. Tonight, when the sun goes down, you're probably going to just reach over and flip a switch. Boom! Light instantly floods your room and you won't even think twice about it. But for 99.9% of human history, that switch just didn't exist. When the sun set, the world went completely, terrifyingly dark. We're talking so dark you couldn't even see your own hand in front of your face. It's this wild, paradigm-shifting environment that we modern humans almost never experience today.
I mean, really think about the sheer scale of this. For 300,000 years, every single one of your ancestors spent roughly half their entire lives in near total darkness. And remember, they didn't even have candles for the vast majority of that time. It was just the black sky, the stars, and whatever small fire they could somehow manage to keep alive.
So this massive chunk of time spent in the pitch black brings up a really fascinating mystery, right? One that actually fundamentally changes what we know about being human. What did they actually do for all those hours in the dark? The answer is absolutely incredible, and it forces us to rethink literally everything, from the origins of storytelling to the actual biological reality of how we sleep.
Section 1. The Ancient Dark. Life before the light switch.
Okay, so before we figured out how to harness fire, we were basically just like every other primate. When the sun went down, you climbed a tree, and you stayed perfectly still. Mostly because our eyes are terrible in the dark compared to the predators that hunted us. But fire changed the survival equation overnight. A campfire created a literal 30-foot diameter circle of safety. Inside it, you were good, but outside of it, imagine wandering out into the pitch black like a fragile little stick man. You're completely blind and you instantly become a midnight snack for leopards and hyenas. You simply didn't cross that 30-foot line.
Section 2. Fire and Human Culture. The Original Theater.
Now, fire wasn't just a giant bug zapper for predators. It actually gave humans 2 to 4 extra usable hours every single day. Think about it. Before fire, your useful day just ended at sunset. Anthropologist Polly Wisner's study of the Bushmen in the Kalahari Desert brilliantly shows us exactly how this changed things, since they live a lifestyle very similar to our original ancestors. During the day, 80% of what they talk about is strictly practical. You know, hunting logistics, gathering plants, negotiating trades. Daytime talk is all business.
But when the sun goes down and they gather around that fire, the entire vibe flips. A massive 81% of their conversations transform into stories. We're talking myths about the origins of the world, tales of distant adventures, and jokes. This made the campfire the original theater where human culture was truly born. It was our original classroom, our original church. It's where humans learned to think beyond right now and imagine things that didn't exist yet. It is quite literally where we became us.
Section 3. First and Second Sleep. The Forgotten Rhythm.
But the night wasn't just for hanging out and telling stories. Historians have recently rediscovered that we aren't actually designed to sleep the way we do right now. Back in 2001, historian Roger E. Eckertz dug up over 500 historical references, from Homer's Odyssey all the way to medieval medical texts and court records, and they all proved that before the industrial age, people just didn't sleep in one continuous 8-hour block. Instead, they experienced first sleep and second sleep, separated by an hour or two of just being awake. This wasn't insomnia, guys. This was completely normal.
During that middle-of-the-night window, they usually called it the watch. People didn't just lie there stressing out. They actively lived. According to a 16th-century doctor's manual, people used the quiet hours between first and second sleep for study and deep reflection because their minds were perfectly calm. People would get up, interpret fresh dreams, go visit their neighbors, and get this, a French physician at the time literally recommended couples use this window to conceive children because they would, quote, do it better.
Section 4. The Biology of the Watch. Rediscovering Our Ancient Program.
The crazy thing is, for centuries, modern historians literally altered translations of these ancient texts to fit our continuous 8-hour sleep model. They just couldn't imagine that broken sleep was actually real. That is, until a wild 1992 experiment by psychiatrist Thomas Ware. He plunged volunteers into 14 hours of darkness every day for a month. And guess what? Without any prompting at all, every single participant naturally reverted to the ancestral pattern: 4 hours of sleep, a period of quiet wakefulness, and 4 more hours of sleep. It turns out that ancient program was just sitting there, waiting to be reactivated.
And this proves a really profound biological reality. That middle-of-the-night waking period, it wasn't just some random gap in your sleep. It was a unique, hormone-driven phase of human consciousness that most modern people have completely missed out on. When Weher measured their hormone levels, he found their brains were absolutely swimming in prolactin, which is the exact same hormone released during deep meditation. They were in this entirely distinct, highly peaceful state of reflective consciousness.
Section 5. Conquering the Night, the Death of Darkness.
So if this two-phase sleep thing was our natural state for, well, millennia, what exactly killed it? The answer is our relentless, absolute obsession with conquering the dark. For most of history, the night was deeply feared. It was literally illegal to walk outside dark without a lantern. Towns enforced curfews, which actually comes from the medieval French couvre-feu, meaning to cover the fire, specifically to guarantee total darkness. You were supposed to be inside, asleep, and in the dark. But eventually, we decided to conquer that fear. And we did it with light. We moved pretty rapidly from 1600 street lamps in Paris and London to widespread gas lamps in the 1800s, and then finally to Thomas Edison's electric bulb in 1879. And just like that, we effectively destroyed 300,000 years of natural darkness within a single generation. What was once a place of total fear became something easily navigable. We made the night bright, and we really thought we'd achieved ultimate progress.
Section 6. Rethinking Modern Insomnia. When the light stays on. See, we flooded our vulnerable nights with all this artificial light, completely convinced it was progress. But in doing so, we completely shattered a million-year-old circadian rhythm. Your body literally can't tell the difference between a light bulb and the sun. Today, the average person gets exposed to artificial light for 7 to 8 hours after sunset. When the blue light from your screen hits your retina at 11 p.m., your brain thinks it's daytime. That suppresses your natural melatonin production, fragments your rest, delays your biological cycles, and effectively deletes that ancient, peaceful watch period.
But here's the really amazing part. That ancient programming, it's still inside you. Researchers have found that just 1 week of camping with zero artificial light is enough to reset your body's natural melatonin cycle by nearly 2 hours. By simply ditching the light switch and sleeping under the real sky, your body instantly remembers the drill. It goes right back to producing melatonin at sunset, exactly the way it evolved to do over millions of years.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with something to really chew on. What if lying awake in the dark isn't your body malfunctioning, but just an echo of your original human rhythm trying to reassert itself? Today, we treat middle-of-the-night waking like this terrible insomnia disorder that we have to medicate away. But maybe, just maybe, when you wake up at 2 a.m. to a silent house, your biology is simply inviting you back to the campfire, back to the watch, and back to a forgotten state of consciousness we left behind in the dark.